Welcome to my ambush at Ailell walkthrough for the Silver Snow Path.
I'm over here.
I'm just going to skip that cutscene.
I am grateful.
This is going to be a unique map that you haven't seen before if you haven't done Dorothea and Ingrid's Paralogue.
Wow, thanks.
And occasionally some of the
Thank you so much.
auxiliary battles will take you to this map as well.
I think-
I just had to think of what the name was. Right. Now I was actually just touching up a couple of units, so make sure to bring some of your best units here. I'll rearrange them. Don't be afraid. Pair up some people if necessary. Now, I'll just take a look at the map really quickly. Everyone's got a full battalion. There are a lot of units on this map. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, this is Ash. And it is. He comes in at level 30. We'll cover him a little bit later. You've got quite a variety of units. Some at the advanced class, like this Fortress Knight. And the guy right next to him is practically identical. Some who are just regular armored knights. You've got the commander, which is Gwendol, who's a powerful great knight. He's got some pretty good equipment. His lamppost shield will nullify any advantage for attacks that deal more damage to cavalry, meaning those attacks won't really be effective on him. You'll also have some master class units like this Great Knight. Don't ask how that's possible on level 29. The game likes to be tricky like that. But otherwise, nothing terribly different that you haven't already seen. Let's begin. Victory conditions: defeat the enemy commander. Defeat conditions: all your units fall in battle.
The Valley of Torm, only if
That lion banner, he is an experienced. This is Ailell, touching the flames of torment.
Now, what Seta said is actually pretty important. These are crater tiles, and in Ailell, they'll fill the map. As you can see, there are quite a few of these. These will take off about 20% of your health, reduce your movement by 20%, and reduce your defense by 1, which means you're more vulnerable if you're on this. However, if you have terrain resistance, for example, you're a Holy Knight, or Byleth is in their Enlightened 1 class, you won't have to worry about it. It won't be a problem. Now, as your objective is to defeat Gwendol, the most optimal path would be to just fight your way through this little L shape. Fight your way up in an L shape, I should say. Because there really is no point in taking out the other units unless you need the experience. It's just a waste of time. However, on the Silver Snow Path, and which is unique to this scenario, you have Ash. And if you want Ash, or something to happen to Ash, you must take him down, which means one unit can go to the side to get him, or have a strike team of sorts to get him. Always check the danger zone to see what your units are getting themselves into. My characters are still pretty overpowered by this point, but that doesn't mean you should disregard safety or all warnings. I have artificially enhanced Byleth with some, shall I say, spells, with some, not spells. I've enhanced him with magic herbs and all those stat boosting items. Always, if you can, take out the archers first, especially on Ailell, where people are more inclined to try and grab you. You really don't want to spend too much time fighting units if you can avoid it.
Almost unstoppable.
Put me in there.
Ready for anything.
Caspar and Ferdinand are my two strong fighters. Now I'm actually gonna have Petra move up.
I'm awake.
And I'm gonna have Linhart move in. Linhart, at least in my game, has warp, so I can warp to Gwendol rather quickly if I need to. I'm not gonna do that just yet. Now, Ingrid is going to stay just out of range of Ash, but she's gonna pick him up.
The crest of flame!
Just as I thought. The Professor's army. But it's too late to back out now. In Lenato's place. I have to.
So that'll explain why Ash has joined up with Lenato and has disappeared.
For our future.
In case you were wondering why he disappeared if you had recruited him, that he didn't just abandon your team. That's not how this works. If a character doesn't appear, there's a really good reason why. Now on low, if your characters are not as powerful, you're going to have to spend some time mopping up the units that you encounter. Because you don't want to be overwhelmed by Gwendol's forces by the time you get to him. But in this case, I'll actually just pick up Ash and it all will be done.
Forgive me, but as Lenato...
I'll just take out Ash just to show you what you can do. So Ash has been defeated. Now, you can have two options. You can persuade Ash to join you, or you can kill him and, well, miss out on recruiting him. The problem with killing him, obviously, is that it removes him from the story, but if you never used him, or you didn't recruit him in part 1, it doesn't really make a difference whether you bring him on or not. But on Classic, if you're down a few units, you can persuade him to join you.
I'll do it.
That will remove him from the map, and he will join your team after he's done. I mean, after the battle is done. I'll just have Byleth continue making his way. You really don't want to spend too much time on this map, because things can get... These units are actually pretty strong, so you don't want to spend too much time than is necessary. I'm actually going to move Ferdinand up because he's cavalry. And this map is not very friendly to cavalry. Advance your units as a group. Cannot tell you how important that is. Advance them as a group, keep them together. I'm only having Byleth go forward because he can actually take it. As you can see, any character that stupidly runs out on their own that is ill-prepared will get slaughtered. Byleth is only an exception on this map because I made him overpowered so that I could film this video a lot faster. But realistically, what I've just done with Byleth is an incredibly stupid decision. And normally I wouldn't put Ingrid out in the open like that either because, well, Ingrid would die to that archer on a much higher difficulty and if she was a lower level. In the meantime, I'm going to take that guy's bow. Or chest key, I should say. Bring Ingrid back. Some of these units do have some nice items, and there's a chest key there's a chest right here that you can open. If you're interested. I'm not, particularly.
I must read them well.
You're gonna have to fight your way through to Gwendol somehow. But I should also point out that Linhart can go on here because he's a holy knight and won't take much of the damage. I should point out that even though I'm tearing through units right now, again, keep everybody close and assume battles will take a while because they can and will. Don't worry about that Kingdom Soldier. He will actually get toasted and burned. That's the nature of Ailell. Units will start moving towards you in an effort to kill you. I'll just have Ingrid grab that treasure chest just for the fun of it. It really won't affect much. Once you get close to Gwendol or within his range of attack, or near his range of attack, I should say, he will start to charge you. Alternatively, if you've got a high enough level, or Linhardt is good at a high enough level, you can actually warp Byleth close to Gwendol. It's a very big risk, so you want to make sure that if you do teleport a character, it's Byleth in this case, but could be anybody, that they're able to take out Gwendol in one sitting. If they can't, you've basically just doomed someone to, well, an onslaught of death, which they can't survive. Because Gwendol's no pushover. Thankfully, you'll have healing circles, which act as little... I wouldn't call them strongholds, but they're like little base camps. You can stay on them, have units switch and recover their health, and you won't have to worry too much about reinforcements because they won't come in en masse. Because the mission is all about defeating Gwendol anyway. So you shouldn't be spending too much time fighting other units that you can't afford. As I just mentioned, Gwendol is coming at Byleth because Byleth has moved into range. But the rest of the units will start moving at you as well. Which is again why I said it was really important for units to stick together. Now I'm actually going to finish off Gwendol really quickly, but I'll just open this chest. There was no real need with that bolt axe. Now the thing about Gwendol is that he's got some pretty powerful stats. He'll most likely use his battalion, linked horses, which will hurt you quite a bit if you're not prepared for it. He'll also use it if he can't really land a hit on your character. You'll notice his defenses are incredibly high, but his resistance isn't as durable. Or his resistance as high, so he's not as durable against magic attacks. You obviously can't kill him, and gambits won't be as effective, but they'll be helpful in slowing him down and dealing some early damage. He's got the lance and axe fair, although axe fair is really only the important part. His hit is increased by 20. Keen intuition allows him to dodge faraway attacks like magic and bows, but it's much better using magic and bows than going in close range if you can afford it. He'll be more durable when attacking you with armored blow, and his axe prowess will be pretty strong. But that being said, if that's your best option to target him through magic and bows, don't be afraid to use it. Yes, avoidance plus 30 is not a good thing to have, but then again, neither is having a unit pretty much court certain death if they try to approach him. But really, just target Gwendol. Taking out the other units isn't necessary unless you're not ready.
That was quite a predicament.
And that is the ambush at Ailell walkthrough in a nutshell. Keep your units together, move your units forward slowly but surely, use healing tiles to heal, and take out Gwendol the moment he comes into range, or you can warp and hit him if needed. That is the end of this walkthrough. If you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe. There will be more videos like this in the future. If you wanted to view the Warp to Gwendol strategy, please watch the Golden Deer version of this battle. Otherwise, again, thank you so much for watching, and I will hope to see you in my next video.